Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gearhead Daily. I'm your host, Eric, and what I'm going to show you today is a quick video about a man and his 308. And you're probably wondering, why is this so special? But just watch the video and let's see. Turn that volume up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he called it. Have you ever asked yourself, gee, I could just make myself a Ferrari engine in my garage? That should be fairly simple, right? Okay, well, let's find out. It's taken a man 11 years to do this. But let's take a look at what he's got. And there are multiple pages of this. And at first you look, oh, gee, it's just a regular Ferrari V12, no big deal. Looks fairly factory until you realize he's documented all the work himself. So look at this. 5.4 liter V12 only runs on 11 cylinders at the moment. Okay, well, when you see how much work he's put in, I think we'll give him a bit of slack for the car only running on 11 cylinders. But you saw it chirp the tires pretty good. So you heard the mini starter as well. That was it's a GM mini starter that he used. So that was pretty loud. But yeah, I'm not sure if he's got exhaust worked out yet. But here's his 308. It's blue. It's beautiful. Love it. Projecting 900 horsepower. I'm going to go through this relatively quick because there's a lot to cover. But here's the original motor he's got. And he's got some Testarossa heads that he got from a junkyard. So he's got to put 4 valves on it. So here he is kind of reworking the heads a little bit. So he's welded it up so that he can go in with his milling machine, which should give you a hint. He probably knows what he's doing. He's got the original cams here. But you'll soon find out that he's decided he's going to make his own cam. And here you go. Here's his cams. He's going to make his own cam profiles. I would assume he's got a cam doctor. So he's clearly got a big lathe, a 6-jaw lathe there. So he knows what he's doing. And you'll see later he makes his own gears as well. So 11 years, you start to understand why it took so long. It's a labor of love, most likely. So he found some larger valves he's going to put in there. And the heads are getting reworked a little bit. And basically, where this came from was a bunch of people saying, oh, Eric, you're such a hater. You hate that Supra that came out. You hate that Jeep that came out. And gee, you're such a hater, man. Why do you hate on everything? Well, here's something that is impossible to hate. And if anything, you know, you gotta love the guy for what he's done. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just pure epic stuff. So he's got 2 cylinder heads here with the throttle bodies he's starting to match up here. And his milling machine. I don't know if it's a Bridgeport, but it's definitely epic. So he's got his it's like exhaust manifolds here. He's going to hit winning. Yeah, he's matching up his exhaust manifolds. Yep, valve guides. So he's got a couple pair of heads with a flow meter here. And here we go. We've got some exhaust flanges. He's welding up there. I'm sorry, those are intake flanges. Look, yep, intake flanges, excuse me, for the throttle bodies that he's going to be doing updraft carburetors. And he made his own flow machine, because that's what you do, rather than, you know, he's got to make sure it works. So all his throttle bodies, he's got 12 of them, which I'm sure is not a nightmare at all to tune whatsoever. But I'll put a link in the description for you to check this out, because there are many, many pages to this. And here he is kind of lining up those throttle bodies. Looks like he's kind of making his own intake runners as well, which to be fairly short. And again, multiple throttle bodies there. It's, yeah, we're not worthy as right. So we've got angle finder and all sorts of things. You start to realize he probably has a solid idea of what he's doing. So you'll see he makes his own fuel rail. Here it is. Here's the fuel rail that he makes, and once he's done it, actually it's beautiful. I mean, even here in this stage it looks beautiful, but now he's kind of worked it a little bit, so it's sanded and filed down, and it's beautiful work at the end of the day. I mean, look at that. Looks like it was a cast piece that somebody filed down. It's that good. So here we got the cover here for your timing chain and your other the big timing chain for the heads. The word is escaping me at the moment, which I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments. So yeah, yeah, it's got a little helper there in the garage. That's always cool. So the only, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, you can actually see the car in the background, and that's my only knock on the guy that I can possibly give him, which is, hey man, you got this really nice car, and you're going to be making all sorts of noise and dust and nasty stuff, so why not cover it up? But, you know, I mean, to be fair, I mean, the guy's making his own timing chain cover. Yeah, I mean, he might know what he's doing. And later you're going to see a couple photos here of the gearbox that he's putting in here for the power transfer. So here he's, you know, clearly working up the valve covers. And again, by the time he's done, yeah, that escalated quickly. You're darn right it did. Holy cow. But that first video you saw it running, proof's in the pudding there. He actually made this thing work. So it makes me realize that whatever I was doing in my garage, nothing compared to what this guy is doing. So yeah, here he is with the block. He's using his milling machine to clean up the block, and he's going to bore it out because he's welded the cylinders there to accept a different piston, and it looks like a sleeve as well. Yep, there's our sleeves. And doing some more milling work. So much wind. I mean, this is epic. This just got posted days ago. This is relatively new. This guy's been holding on to this for so long. But yeah, here we go. We're getting it fitted for like the first time of a million, but he's got a dry sump system here that he built himself. And there's his transfer case there in the back for the transaxle. It's going to be transversely mounted into the Ferrari. So yeah, I mean, we see here in a second he starts going through and bending. Yeah, it looks like a 1/2-inch aluminum bar. So yeah, this stuff gets pretty epic pretty quick, and I'm gonna put a link in the description there for you. I mean, just wow, right? I mean, look at some of this engineering that is involved here. So finally, he's got this, you know, half circle, you know, 1/2-inch aluminum plate here, as you can see, as part of the transaxle that he's got here. But I mean, some of this stuff is just incredible. He's got the boring bar on his mill there. He's got a few bucks just in machine parts. There's no doubt about that. So, like I said, I will put a link in the description. What is this? Scratch building a 900 horsepower Ferrari V12 from scrapyard parts in your garage. Yeah, and only a mill. This stuff is awesome. So yeah, this is a very long thread and is clearly exploded into some awesome stuff that you can see here. Here he is, the GM mini starter making his own flywheel. Oh my goodness. So anyway, for those of you who kept saying, you're just a hater and you talk negative about all the crap because you don't like the Supra and you don't like Jeep, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. Okay, I'll be the first one to admit I am somewhat hard to impress, but when I do see some cool stuff, I mean, look at the bell housing the guy's making. He's making his own bell housing. I'm the first one to admit I am impressed when I see it. So his own bell housing that he's made, and clearly some pretty solid welds there, especially through what looks like at least 3/4 aluminum. So here he is test fitting, I'm sure for like the millionth time, making sure he's got clearance and that sort of thing. But this is here we go. We're starting to make some gears. Made his own clutch alignment tool. I mean, who does that? I mean, that is cool. That is some pretty epic stuff. So yeah, like I said, I will put a link in the description. Please let me know. Is this cool? Is this not cool? Would it have just been easier just to buy an LS motor and LS swap his 308? Who knows? You know, that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Don't worry about it. But yeah, let me know. Put in the comments. Is this cool? You want me to do more of this stuff? You want me to go out and find some oddities like this and cover it a little bit? Or, you know, is this stupid? Is this dumb? Do we not want to see any of this stuff? Holy cow. Okay, you know what? I'll put the link. You go take a look. I'm going to keep looking at this because this stuff is just as cool as it gets. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Good luck.